Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be going over the Sweet Discoveries event, which is going to be going down in a couple of days. We're going to be going over how to evolve the new Applin Pokemon, as well as getting these particular items that you're going to need to acquire to make it happen. You're going to need quite a few, and it seems like they're going to be somewhat rare unless Niantic does vamp them up during this event here. And then we're also going to be going over some tips for evolutions that it's going to have at a later time that are not quite introducing now, as well as a Gigantamax form for it as well. So with that said, let's go ahead and see what we have going on here. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. If you could hit that like button, it'd be much appreciated. And let's go ahead and just hop right into this here. So the Sweet Discoveries event is going to be going down Thursday, April 24th at 10 a.m. until Thursday, April 29th at 8 p.m. local time. Bonuses are going to be ×2 candy for catching, an increased chance to encounter a shiny Delibird or shiny Skolvit, an increased chance to hatch a shiny Delibird, shiny Cherubi, or shiny Skolvit. So if you're looking for any of those shinies, I mean, should be pretty excited about this. Although don't hold your breath, because an increased chance probably means like, I don't know, an increase of a half a point, okay? All right, moving it on here. Catching Delibird, Skolvit will award berries. So this is another event that is going to be introducing a new mechanic into the game that could potentially be a bigger feature in the in the future of Pokemon Go, in which Pokemon can hold items. So we see catching Delibird, Skolvit will award berries. That's pretty awesome. Now I understand they're just berries. Maybe getting a golden or a silver is going to be pretty nice, but this means that they're opening the doors for other Pokemon in the future to potentially hold on to items as well. Maybe we can even see some holding on to rare items. So this is definitely a pretty awesome addition to Pokemon Go for this event. They're adding quite a few new mechanics for this particular event, including getting those items on the map. So we have Pokemon holding items and now items on the map that we can collect to evolve other Pokemon, which is pretty interesting. An increased chance for apples to appear at the Mossy Lure module, and we're going to go over more of those apples if you're a little confused or not in the loop, because we did talk about it already. And then half egg distance for the first 3 eggs put in the Pokemon Go hatching widget. So if you use the widget, that it's going to be outside of the game, it's going to be like on your main phone interface. You're just going to have the half distance for the first 3 that you put in there. So there you go. Interesting stuff. All right, moving it on here. Pokemon debut, we have Applin, Frapple, and Appleton. So those are the 3. And 2 of them, obviously, it's going to be evolving into 2 different forms here. And it is going to require 2 different apples. And we're going to go over that here. See, so you can use 200 apple candies and 20 tart apples to evolve Appleton into Fapple, or 200 Appleton candies and 20 sweet apples to evolve into Appleton. So there's the thing, you're going to need 20 and 200 candies. So it's going to be like one of those things, right? Let's go ahead and see what they have to say about the apples yet again here. So during the Sweet Discovery event, you will discover apples in the wild. If you're lucky, very lucky, you might get one. So it's like, what do you mean very lucky? What if you're lucky is already rare. If you're very lucky, it doesn't seem too great. Tapping on them will award sweet apples, tart apples, or an encounter with the included new Pokemon Applin. So when you see one of these apples on the map, it's not going to be differentiated between the 2. You're going to have to tap on it, and then once you do, you'll know whether you're going to be able to get one of the 2 apples or actually an encounter with Applin itself. So there you go, if you're very lucky. So they're encouraging you to put down mossy lures. What I'm going to do is head to a nice little lure spot, dense area, put down a few mossy lure modules, and help the people who are around. But mostly I'm just going to see how rare these things are actually going to be. So stay tuned for that. When the event does start, we'll have to do a little experiment. And we're going to be taking a look at their stats so you can see exactly how good these new Pokemon are. Let's go ahead and speed this up. Wild spawns are going to be a Alolan, Rattata, Abra, Bellsprout, Delibird, Gulpin, Bidoof, Munna, Bonsweet, Skolvit, and in some trainers might encounter Snorlax, Shuckle, Kamola, and Applin. So Applin's not going to be that common, right? 7-kilometer eggs are going to be Delibird, Cherubi, Munchlax, and Skolvit. Time research, you're going to be awarded 1 mossy lure. This is for free. 1 mossy lure, 1 tart apple, 1 sweet apple, and an encounter with the event-themed Pokemon. I'm assuming it's going to be Applin. And yeah, there's that. And of course, there's going to be a $1.99 or equivalent in your area ticket, in which you're going to be able to get 2 Mossy Lures, an encounter with an event-themed Pokemon, including Delibird, Scolvent, Applin, and more. So there's that and more stuff when you're paying for a ticket. Don't you just love to see that? Of course, we already know the increased shinies are going to be Delibird, Scolvent, which are actually going to hold items as well. Could hold items. And then some trainers might encounter a shiny Cherubi. All right. And then you are going to see an apron as well as kind of like, what do you call those? A headband? Yeah. So if that's your style, then go for it. I personally don't really like the basic stage of Applin too much. I just think it looks a little goofy. If that's your jam, then you do your thing. But that's not saying that the evolutions aren't good, which we're going to be getting into. And there's actually like a Hydra one that looks really awesome. I really do enjoy that. And of course, a Gigantamax form. So let's go ahead. Actually, let's talk about that. So yeah, it's going to receive a Gigantamax form, okay? And really nothing to really kind of prepare for on this. I guess you can start just stacking up the candies. But then again, if these things are so stinking rare, then I guess you can still stack them up, but there's going to be another thing you're going to want to wait for. We're going to go over that Hydra one. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and throw up this video really quick for you. So taking a look at Fapple here, which is going to be the like kind of flying looking one. It's going to be a grass and dragon, so very, very, very weak to ice. It's going to have a max combat power of 2,788, attack 214, defense 144, and stamina 172. The other one is going to be more defensive, as you're going to see here in just a minute. So stats are looking pretty interesting, I suppose. Nothing too crazy. It's going to be very weak to ice, right? And then moving down here, let's go ahead and take a look at its moves here. Everything's subject to change, but more than likely, these are what are going to stick here. You have Dragon Breath. That's a big plus. And then Bullet Seed. That's also great quick move for a grass Pokemon, as it does gain energy very fast. And Dragon Breath is just a solid move in general. And then charge moves are going to be Seed Bomb, Dragon Pulse, Outrage, and Fly. This thing's pretty loaded up. I love it. It's great. It's got a great move pool here. It's got something for a pretty hard-hitting stab move, and then a spammy stab move as well with Seed Bomb. And then it just has random coverage with Fly. And then you can go Dragon Pulse, which I don't think you should. You just go Outrage. Now, taking a look at Appleton, this one is going to be the defensive one. And I like both of the designs. I just like, what is this dragon and apple? This is getting a little nuts here, right? But whatever, to each their own. Max combat power is going to be 2,772, attack 178, defense 147, and then stamina at a whopping 242. So there's where it's going to be shining. It's going to just be more defensive, or should I say HP heavy, all right? Let's see what we have for the moves on this one here. Quick moves are going to be Astonish and Bullet Seed. So it's losing Dragon Breath and picking up Astonish. It's going to be the same type, Grass and Dragon. Charge moves are going to be Seed Bomb, Dragon Pulse, Energy Ball, and Outrage. It's looking like the other one's going to be a little bit more reliable, at least as far as the moves are concerned. These ones aren't the worst in the world, but they're also not the best. But it's still going to be something new in the game here for you to hunt and use as well. Of course, all for PvP. Now, taking a look at its other chart here with other Pokemon. So we went over those two, right? Now, Applin can also go into Diplin, which is going to require the Syrupy Apple. The other ones are going to require the Tart Apple for Frapple, and then the Sweet Apple for the Appleton. All right, I'm new to this, so just bear with me here. I'm just learning with the new people too, okay? So from Applin to Diplin, Diplin can go into Hydra Apple, okay? And that's going to require Dragon Cheer. You can get that after you learn the move Dragon Cheer, which is not in the game. Do not know how they're going to pursue that at all. I feel like we're getting into Digimon territory here with all these split evolutions, to be honest with you. But that's the deal with those other two. So we're not seeing Diplin. We're going to see the other two, and then Diplin can evolve into the cool one, the Hydra one, right? That's the one we want, right? That's the one we really want. The stats are actually going to be pretty good on that one, I would assume. In Pokemongo. Don't have those numbers quite yet for you. As far as the moves are concerned, I'm not going to really dig into it. We're just going to like move down the list here, but it's essentially the same as the other ones. The only difference is going to be the fact that it does learn that one exclusive move. I don't know if the other ones can. And also its stats are going to be a lot better than the other two because it is just going to be that much better as far as an evolution is concerned. So what you want to do is maybe hold on and save those candies from Applin. And it's not like you need to save the apples because it requires a whole new one altogether. So you're going to have to collect those when they do come out. But there you have it as far as those are concerned. So my tips for you are going to be, as far as the Gigantamax, you can get the candies when that comes out. You can start saving now for the Hydra or for Gigantamax. It's up to you. As far as both of these are concerned, I feel like the flying one is going to be the more of, it's not flying type, it just looks like a flying one, right? It's going to be the one you're probably going to want to get more so. And obviously getting these apples is going to be very rare on the map, as they said. So you're going to have to throw down a Mossy Lure for them to become more common for you to get. Sitting by one Mossy Lure is going to be decent for you, but your best option is probably going to be to go where there's a kind of a cluster of these Pokestops, so you can do a little bit of a rotation, or even better yet, sit right in the middle of them so you can see all the spawns all at once, so you don't miss anything. So in case one of these apples does pop up, I'm assuming it's gonna, like, I don't know if it's gonna take over the actual spawns that are gonna be, you know, appearing underneath the Mossy Lures, or if it's just going to appear as its own individual spawn and not kind of take up that time slot and where other Pokemon will be appearing underneath those lure modules. So we'll just have to see how they conduct that. But with that said, just wanted to let you know what's going on here. Pretty interesting. It's always cool that we get a new Pokemon, and this one is actually pretty interesting. I see that a lot of people do like it. Also, we're going to be getting those new features. Pokemon will be able to hold items, at least berries for now, and we are now picking up items on the map. So hopefully in the future they can expand and evolve outside of that for us to be able to just, you know, find other things. Maybe we can find Pokeballs on the map. Maybe we can find, I don't want to say potions, but probably those will come first. All the little whack ones, and then maybe even evolution items one day. Don't hold your breath for like Master Ball or something. But maybe we'll be able to find like rare candies or XL candies one day on the map. And then even, you know, to add on to that, the Pokemon will hold items like those as well. And who knows, we'll have to see. But they just opened the box for the potential of that in the future. And now we have those features. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy it, if you can give it a thumbs up, that'd be much appreciated. And I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.